and then we'll have you break out into your breakout groups to talk regionally. So the first question is, what is the biggest issue you're dealing with right now in your housing? And you can see the lack of affordable housing. You can certainly upvote things. I can see that being upvoted greatly here. Access to affordable housing units, affordable rent prices, fair housing, um, access, yes, lack of affordable housing options being upvoted greatly here. I can see as well. And if folks are having issues in the poll, feel free to put that in the chat as well. I can see rent increases, not enough affordable units, right? This idea of housing stock.
I'm
Um,
sorry, I'm going to be rude and interrupt, but
yes,
if
please.
folks could please add your region to your name, I will be able to manually assign you all. Some of you I know well, but some of you I do not, and I don't know what region you work or live in. So if you can add it to your Zoom name. So where you go to participants, you see your name, you can click more, you can edit it to change your name, add your pronouns, that you can add your region name there. That would be a great help to me. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. So as you do that, um, please continue to answer. Lack of infrastructure, sewer, transportation, high building costs, no zoning for multifamily. I can see that being upvoted as well, and homelessness being an issue. Low housing stock again coming up, and whether people have the right to live where they choose to live in the Commonwealth. The cost of building new units. We certainly have been seeing that as well. Resistance to greater density, construction costs. Yes, seeing that again. Fair housing and discriminatory language. Yes, this is helpful for us. And what we hope to do as well, and what we're capturing here in these questions, is to put them together in some of our key takeaways as well, as we help, hopefully, that it will inform our work as we move forward. So this has been really helpful. So if folks have been able to, as Lily has directed us to put in your name as well, the region where you'd like to go, we can sort of work to pre-assign all 200 of you all into regions. I was hoping that we would be able to self-select seamlessly, but it seems to be giving us some barriers here, but that's all right. So, this question, I think we have sort of captured a lot of what folks are talking about. I see the shelter system being overwhelmed as an issue. We imagine today we would be hearing from you all in that regard. Interested as well to hear regionally sort of the examples that will come out of the and uplift in the breakout group sessions. And so, Monica, if you can, let's advance to the second question here, the next question rather, um, and and get a sense as well, sort of in addition, what folks are tackled with and tasked with as well in the work. So that same Poll EV link is going to allow you to answer the same second question of this round. And so Monica will share screen in just a moment, but feel free to sort of jump in on that. And this is what I'm really trying to get at, what the gaps are that you are seeing. What are some of the gaps? And I think in some ways it was addressed in the first question, right? The gaps in funding, the gap in housing stock, um, and and in direction. I think I saw in language, right, around how we should be dealing with these issues. But yes, I want to hear from you. Lack of lower and middle income options. I see that being upvoted here. Extremely low income housing as a gap, right? Income affordability. Absolutely, Lynn. I see in the chat also facing resale issues of affordable homes because interest rates are so high and resale prices are low. So households are stuck sort of in a place. The racial equity gap, absolutely. Um, see that as well. And gaps between housing costs and housing income of residents in Massachusetts, I see being upvoted a great deal here too in terms of that and misinformation. Misinformation. Oh boy, how we tackle that in our work is certainly an upfront issue for us as well. No developable land and high building costs, and AMI not truly reflecting the demographics of the neighborhoods and meeting the needs. I imagine that getting upvoted a lot more, as well as people are sort of leaning in here. Affordability gaps, seniors and housing for disability. I see lots of answers coming in here on the gaps question, and we recognize and acknowledge this is part of the reason why we asked this question, because we really want to get a sense of what you're grappling with. So, a top up votes, of course, are affordability gaps and family size units, right? This is part of why in our fair housing legislative priorities we have exclusionary zoning bylaw as important, right? Making sure that if there's a development that's going to have three bedrooms or more, right, that the decisions are not being made discriminatory around families with children. Missing middle housing being upvoted a great deal here. Um, and so that certainly is heard loud and clear. The lack of lower and middle income housing again coming up. So the lower and middle income housing, seeing a trend there, and affordable options for our seniors. Thank you, Josephine. I see your comment in the chat. Extremely low. We want to focus in the gap on extremely low income individuals. And so we appreciate you all both uplifting those issues around workforce housing, the missing middle, and these sort of things. So I'll pause for a moment just to see if we are primed and ready to sort of go into our breakout groups. I'm hoping.